So here we have this building with this sad facade. As you can see, no window here. So let's get started. Give this building a little bit of daylight with some newly created windows. To do this, we go to Family, to File, New, Family. And you see, the good things is we don't have to start from zero. Revit give you all this family sample with some kind of presetting that you can work with. Now, if you do not know what the right template for you is, or if you want to create something very complex with no presetting in the way, I always recommend you go with the generic model templates. But today we are going to use the window template. So we click on open, and as you can see, right, Revit already give you some kind of orientations where the exterior side is here, interior side is here, and it's also give you a default wall. If you open an elevations, we can see that this wall pieces already have an opening for your window that is parametric. You can see here. You can check out the parameter in this family type window, and as you can see, there's already a height parameter defined and a width parameter defined, and we can change them while opening change with it. And now what we want to, just going to change the height, and now what we want to do is create a window with this wall opening. To do this, we click on create. And here you have the different options to create some kind of form. I recommend you be adventurous and try them all out at a time to see how they work. But for now, we are going to need an instructions to create the frame. Of our window, we select the rectangle, tools, and draw a rectangle directly on the lines of the wall opening. Now you see all the little locket appears, and we close. Then before we want to lock this rectangle to the edge of the wall opening, and thus to the predefined height and width parameter. Now to create the thickness of the frame, we are going to draw a second rectangle. Just draw it somehow, it does not matter for now. We are going to change this later. Now if you click on the finish, you see the little uneven frame that we created. You can check out if it's already parametric when you open the parameter box again and then change the height, for example, and you can see that, for example, the height you change is right here, 2000. Apply. So same goes for this width, of course. Let's check this out. Now we already made the height and width parametric, but we also want the depth of the window to change with the wall thickness. For this we look at this from the left side or the right side. We see this is the instructions that we just created, and the depth of this is defined. But as you remember, we are not happy with the way our frame looks, so we create a new parameter to define the thickness of the frame. We click on this symbol down here and give a names of window thickness or frame thickness. Click OK. So now it's going to be a type parameter defining a length and group under dimension. This is fine. And we see here our new parameter. We give a default value of 15 and hit OK. Now to correct this new parameter to actual width of the frame, we are going to double click the extrusions to get back to the edit extrusion spoon, and we are going to need some dimensions under annotate, and we create annotations for every piece of this frame window. So we're using align dimensions. It's a frame. Now this doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, now when you click on one of these dimensions, you can see this labels box right here that allows you to connect these dimensions to a parameter, and you see our frame thickness, right? And we are going to do this for all of the frame pieces. Okay, now I see there's already changed the frame to an even value of 50. If we hit OK now, we can see that we can change the thickness of the frame also. For example, we will change the value here, 15 to 30. Apply, so we can see that this has changed the thickness of the window here. Okay. Now the next thing we need is, of course, the glass of our window, but because we want the glass to be sitting in the middle of the window. Now the next things we need is, of course, the glass for our window, but because we want the glass to be sitting in the middle of this window, we have to select the center of front back work planes. To do this, we click on the create, set work plane, and we choose a reference plane center front back. Click OK and open view here. Now we create another extrusions. With the rectangle tools, and again fix it to the inner corrects of the frame. Don't forget to lock every corner of these frames. Now we want our glass to be 3 cm thick. Apply. Then we can already finish. Let's check out our window in the 3D view. So hit OK here. See the glasses pieces in the middle of the frame. Now you might see that the glass pieces is not yet see-through. This is because, of course, it does no it's supposed to be a glass yet. To change this, we are going to assign a material parameter to it. Now if we click on the instruction, we see in the properties here that there are these material options, and we do not click on the by category, but we click on this little gray box right next box to it. This is also a way to create a new parameter. We click on this new parameter button right here, and as you can see, it has already selected materials as the type of parameters. We're going to name it glass materials and hit click on OK. Now this parameter box, we see our, so you can see that in this box. So now it's a parameter box. We see OK. Yeah. New material parameter. We can select a material now, and our window becomes see-through. See-through. So click this one. So we choose a glass. Click. We are going to the same with the frames. Here, so go to the properties and go to the materials gray box. Here, click this one. So we create a frame material. Click OK. That's already created before. So this one already have him. So add a new parameter. Click OK. So as you can see, at this, you can see it's already add on the frame material. So click here. We're going to use the defaults. Click OK. Apply and OK. So you can select the actual materials when they are in your projects also, this frame. Now if we take a look at it with a consistent color, we can see it's already, this is consistent color here. Consistent color looks pretty much like a window. Now last things we want to do is add a piece of this window into our project. Oh, before that, I want to add a mullion going from the top of the bottoms of the window. So we go back to the exterior, and you already know how to do this. We create an extraction, create extractions. Now be careful, we have to set the work plane back to exterior. this is set here to reference plane exterior. Okay, now we take a rectangle and create the mullion. Now to make this parametric, we're going to need a parameter for distance to frames and the thickness of this mullion. And the way I showed you before was now to finish off. Then go to the type properties, create the new parameter, and then assign them to the mullion. But there is a quicker way to do this if we draw sums of dimensions now. So the first of for the distance and the second one for the thickness. When we click on the dimension, now we can see this level functions appearing at here with this shortcut to creating a new parameter. And you see it already has the length selected. We give it a name mullion distance to frame. Mullion distance to frame. Click OK. So for the next one, clicks on the new and we give name is mullion thickness. Yes. Clicks OK. Now when we finish our extractions, so we can find our two parameters in the family types. So we can change the thickness of these mullions and the distance to the frame. So let's say we want some mullion thickness goes into 15. And the distance is going to be 500. So apply. So as you can see here, is the mullions also change. So let's go 15. Okay. But now, as before with the frame, we also need to take a look at the depth of the mullions. So we go to the left X elevations. So when you open, go to the left or right view, we find out our mullion right here. So if you not found this in the elevation, you can click here and adjust your mullion. Go here. So we can see that this is our mullion. So we need to adjust the depth. So make sure the mullion is same thickness with your window frame. So we lock it here. So we can check if it works when we change the thickness of the wall, like a frame before. So for instance 300, single 300. So it's going to be good here. So to change like that. Right. So everything was perfect fine. Now we also want it to have a so we want the mullion also have material seems like frame. So we go to the properties, we find the material and go to the material and finishes, click gray box here and go to we make a same material as a frame. So select the frame material, click OK. Okay, now I think our window is now ready to be exported into the project. For this, we click on the loads into the project and we can place new windows on this building. Now to change all the parameters that we created, we need to create a new window. For example, select the window that you have created here and then go to the properties. You can edit type and then you can change your window, for example 600 high and 600 width. Go click OK. So all the windows can be changed here. Okay, so the ceiling height we can go and apply. Also set 10, click apply. If you doesn't want to change all this into the same window, so you can click this one and then as before, click here and then we need to duplicate our window here. Go to family to 3, click OK, and then we change the size of our window. Click OK. So this is one type of this window. Just have change here. And you also can change this change the type, the million distance from the frames. For example, 800 clicks. Okay, so then we change the designs all for this one. So if we just want to change the million for one window only, you can duplicate this types of window, so just this ones of window only can be changed. Okay, let's give the frame a new material, and I want to make this wooden window. So we click here and edit type, so frame material here for default, so we change it to wood. So let's find the wood here, wood stains, click OK, and then apply, click OK. So all these frames we change into the woods. Okay, wooden. Because we use the window template, we also have this predefined parameter like a seal height here. You can see here the seal height, pre-parameters here. The seal height you can adjust it. Standard is 900 on the bottom. So yeah, that was it. I hope it was helpful for you, and if you do create your own family, I'll be so happy for that. Take care. Bye. Take care.